What actually drives the growth of an entire economy? Why do some countries thrive while others struggle to catch up? Economic growth is not magic. It is the result of many working parts. In this video, we are going to break down the key forces that fuel economic growth and explain how they interact to build, or sometimes break, prosperity. Let us start with the basics. At its core, economic growth means producing more goods and services over time. We usually measure it through gross domestic product, or GDP. When GDP grows, more value is being created. That means more income, more jobs, and ideally, better living standards. So, what makes GDP grow? One of the biggest drivers is labor, the people doing the work. More workers usually means more output. A growing population or higher labor force participation can boost growth. But it is not just about the number of people. It is about how skilled and productive they are. Education, training, and healthcare all increase the quality of the workforce. A healthy, educated worker tends to produce more and do it more efficiently. That brings us to productivity, one of the most powerful and often overlooked factors. Productivity means getting more output from the same input. For example, if a farmer uses better tools or techniques, they can grow more crops with the same land and effort. On a large scale, productivity grows through innovation, technology, and better business practices. Countries that invest in research, education, and digital infrastructure tend to unlock faster growth because they become more efficient. Next, let us talk about capital, the tools we use to produce things. This includes machines, buildings, and infrastructure like roads and energy grids. When businesses and governments invest in capital, they make it easier and faster to produce goods. Imagine trying to run a modern business without internet or electricity. Capital investment helps economies move forward, but it requires money, which brings us to the role of savings and investment. Savings fuel investment. When people and businesses save money in banks, that money can be loaned to companies to build factories or develop new products. A strong financial system that encourages saving and smart lending helps direct money into growth-generating projects. On the other hand, unstable banking systems or low savings rates can hold economies back. Then there is natural resources. Having things like oil, fertile land, or minerals can be a huge boost. But it is not everything. Some countries with few resources, like Japan or Singapore, have thrived through innovation and education. Others with plenty of resources have struggled due to mismanagement or corruption. So resources help, but only if used wisely. We also need to consider government policy. Laws, regulations, taxes, and spending decisions shape the entire economic environment. Smart policies can support education, infrastructure, and innovation. But bad policies, like excessive red tape, corruption, or unstable taxation, can choke growth. Governments also play a big role in maintaining stability. Investors and businesses need confidence that the rules will not suddenly change overnight. Trade is another key factor. When countries open up to trade, they gain access to bigger markets, more ideas, and cheaper inputs. Trade lets countries specialize in what they do best. That boosts efficiency and growth, but trade needs to be managed. Sudden exposure to global competition can hurt local industries. So growth through trade works best when paired with investment in skills and infrastructure. Finally, institutions, the deeper, slower-moving forces. These include legal systems, property rights, political stability, and even trust in society. Countries with strong institutions tend to grow faster and more sustainably. They can resolve disputes, enforce contracts, and make long-term investments without fear of sudden collapse. Growth is not just about numbers. It is about trust, fairness, and good governance. So when you ask, what drives economic growth? The answer is a mix of people, ideas, tools, rules, and relationships. It is a complex engine, and every piece matters. The challenge is keeping all those parts working together and making sure the benefits of growth reach more people, not just a few. Because in the end, economic growth is not just about producing more. It is about creating a future where more people can live better, more secure lives.